In 2024, the South Carolina Synod is observing its 200th anniversary. Throughout this anniversary year, you will be hearing many stories from that history. This particular video highlights a lesser-known story about the involvement of women in our Synod. Women were important to the history of the Synod from its very beginnings, of course, but they came to a new visibility in the late 19th century. In 1885, women from a small number of congregations came together at Luther Chapel, Newberry, which we today know as Redeemer, Newberry, to form the first synodical Woman's Home and Foreign Missionary Society. It had a very specific focus to support the founding and funding of missions, both internationally and closer to home. Women began to gather in congregational societies to learn how they could be more effective in spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. They gathered to study the Bible, to sing hymns, and to learn about cultures in foreign lands. At first, when these societies were being formed, many male pastors were frankly skeptical and even a little concerned. If women were allowed to form their own organizations and meet by themselves, in the words of one pastor of the period, who knows what they will pray for? Initially, the pastors did not need to worry. Women in the late 19th and early 20th centuries simply did not appear in public. They did not speak publicly, they did not take action publicly, they did not even pray publicly, even in their own small gatherings. Recognizing that many women were hesitant to take a leadership role, even in their own small societies, the women leaders of the South Carolina Synod Synodical Organization took matters into their own hands. They began writing their own program material for distribution to congregations. They created innovative, engaging, and easy-to-use pre-printed programs that provided everything a woman needed in order to lead a missionary society meeting, no matter how inexperienced she might be. These programs proved incredibly popular, and their use exploded. To their wonderment and delight, these South Carolina women discovered that their work was being taken up by women in other areas of the country and translated into Swedish, German, and Norwegian by their ethnic Lutheran sisters who wanted to use the same programs. And they raised money, lots of it. Missionary work is expensive, and they supported it through everything from quilting, raffles, lemonade sales, egg sales, sewing baskets, to selling complete turkey dinners at the South Carolina State Fair for $1. Their efforts funded the mission of the Lutheran Church in Japan, which began in 1891 when missionary James A.B. Shira sailed for there. By 1911, Southern Lutherans were building not just a new seminary in Columbia, South Carolina, they were building a seminary in Japan as well. The Japan Evangelical Lutheran Church to this day considers the South Carolina Synod their founding church. Closer to home, these same women formally adopted a home mission project, the Woman's Memorial Lutheran Church in Spartanburg in 1904, the congregation we know today as St. John's. Today's ELCA circles are the direct descendants of these early women's missionary societies. In a day before the Lutheran Church allowed women much of a public voice, lay women often found their first leadership opportunities through the South Carolina Synod's Woman's Home and Foreign Missionary Societies.